Sassy Colouring, and I am here with you today to show you the set of 120 Brutfuner colouring pencils. I got these pencils on the Amazon Prime Day sale, and I'm going to colour an illustration. We're going to swatch them first and colour an illustration, and I will let you know what I think of the pencils at the end. So if you watched my unboxing video, you will know that I got these on a lightning deal during the Amazon Prime Day sale. They cost me £19.37. You can turn that into your currency. They are roughly hovering around £25 today, and when I checked for the last video, the unboxing video. So about £25 on a normal day, but you can get them a lot cheaper, well, £5 or £6 cheaper. So the Amazon listing tells us that there are 120 Brutfuner oil colouring pencils. They are square barreled, which is supposed to be more ergonomically designed to enhance your colouring experience. They come in this sturdy metal case, but as you know, I already have a set of Brutfuner pencils and I keep them in a pencil case. The good thing being that there's 300 slots in this pencil case, so there is enough room with the 180 set to also put the 120 set in the same pencil case, and you'll know the difference in the sets because one is a round barrel and the other is a square barrel, so I'm happy about that. Although saying that, the square carry case is really handy if you don't have other pencil cases to put them in. It's really sturdy and it's a really nice kind of design where you can pull the trays out very easily and see all the colours. So that's a bonus, but I will be transferring them back into a pencil case. So a little bit about the colouring pencils themselves. So like I said, they're square barreled. They say each pencil is made of a durable base wood with a strong core. It also tells us that they have soft, break-resistant cores made from light, fast pigment, which means that they're not supposed to fade over time. So that's always a bonus, that when you colour something, you know it's going to look the same or roughly the same years down the line. Most artist-grade pencils would have the colour fast kind of we'll say stamp to it, and it does make for a really good selling point if you're going to gift or even sell your artwork. So each pencil comes with the brand stamped on it, a number, and then I'm not sure whether it's the name of the colour or whether it would be the number reflected in whatever language that is. I don't want to be assuming it's Chinese or Japanese because I don't know the difference between either. So rather than having a name or a colour to go by, it's a number that you would reference these pencils by. So I think that's everything that they say regarding the pencils. They do say that they're great for blending, layering, shading, and that they have high pigment content. So that's going to be good. But we have to look for ourselves, see for ourselves, and see how the way I would colour a picture if I would use these on a daily basis. So I've printed out a picture from my newest book, which is Gnome Sweet Gnome. Really selfless promotion. You can get this on Etsy as a print your own or on Amazon. I am trying to colour my way through the entire book, but I'm printing them out and colouring them rather than colouring in the book themselves. Although, as you've seen, I have coloured one or two in this particular book. I loved drawing that guy, so I can't wait to colour him, and this will be the first time I'm colouring him. But first, I will need to swatch the colouring pencils. If you are one of my Patreon members, then you will know that we have a collection called the Colouring Companion, and I've given out some of the swatch sheets in different various numbers. The 120 set will fit onto this sheet, and so I'm going to use this one. It's really handy to have a print your own because there is a swatch sheet in the box when you open it up, but if you're anything like me, I guarantee you at some point through this sheet I'm going to make a mistake. possibly bad enough that I have to start again. But if I can get away with it and still use the same sheet and know what I'm doing, then that's what I do. So every time I swatch a set of pencils, I swatch them differently. Sometimes I'll write all the numbers down for that tray and then swatch them. Sometimes I will swatch the pencil and then put the number down just to make sure I'm not going anywhere. Sometimes I miss pencils, sometimes I have to go back and find the missing ones. It's just individual preference as to how you swatch. The most important thing is that you can see the true colour of the pencil and see if the colour in pencil looks like the barrel of the pencil. And it's a really good reference to go back to when you're colouring, because very rarely will the barrel be the exact same colour of the pencil. And there is nothing worse than having a colour in mind, picking up the barrel of the pencil that you think coordinates best with what you have in mind, putting it on the paper and realising it's nothing like what you need it to be or what the barrel looks like. I hope that makes sense, because as we all know, what I have in my mind sometimes doesn't come out of my mouth. And especially at the moment where I have a bit of a head cold, I don't feel unwell, but I sound like I should be in bed. So I may play on this a bit and go to bed early. So another advantage to swatching your pencils is that you will start to get a feel for the pencils themselves. You'll see how long it will take you to go from a very light layer to build up the true colour of the pencil in the box that you have. And it can give you an idea as to how these pencils are going to lay down on your paper. There have been a few instances where I've liked the pencils when I swatch them and haven't enjoyed colouring with them, but most of the time it will give you a good indicator as to how you're going to get on with the pencils. Another thing I look for when I swatch pencils is to see the range of colours. So when you're swatching a set of pencils, as you can see by this one, there's a really nice set of yellows, and they go really nice into the greens. Now at the start there's only 4, we'll say, reds, maybe 2 or 3 oranges before they start going into the yellows. Then there's a really nice chunk of greens, there's a really nice chunk of blues, a really nice chunk of purples and pinks, again with a small reddish tint to the pinks. Some really nice skin colours in there, there's some really nice greys, there's some really nice browns and earthy tones. But what you're looking for is a hole in that set. And by that I mean, is there a colour that's notably missing? So I've definitely had sets of pencils where there was a very massive lack of greys, where you get 1 or 2 grey pencils. And I find that a problem because I use grey quite a bit for shading or for shadows. So when there's a lack of grey, I know you can use other colours, but it becomes a problem for me and my personal colouring. Then other sets I've seen where there's a massive lack of browns. We always seem to get the pinks, the purples and the blues and the greens, but the other colours sometimes fall into the background. Now obviously with a smaller set of pencils you can't have everything, but in a set of this size I would expect to see a nice range of each kind of colour family, and with this I definitely think they've hit it on the head. Now I have no shame in telling you that I am already a massive fan of these pencils, as in the Brutfuner, however you say it properly, brand, because I bought the 180 set oil pencils and couldn't get over, 1, the quality of the pencils for the price, 2, they have beautiful colours. So when I was told by a really lovely colourist, her name is Mel, she said she had the square set and that if I bought them I wouldn't be disappointed. I was really excited to try them out because as a colourist she knows her pencils, so generally you'll get people who have the same kind of tastes as you, Of course, there are going to be people who really dislike these pencils. One, it could be because they just don't like the pencils. Two, they may have got a bad set. That's happened to me a few times. Go back and see my Monarch colouring pencils review. People rave about them and how good they are. I just really couldn't get along with them. And I ended up giving the boxes to my sons because I just didn't like using them. I didn't like the pencils. I didn't like the way they were put together. There was nothing about them that I really enjoyed. So you have to form your own opinion on every set of pencils you have. But again, saying that, when you have somebody who has very similar tastes to yours, i.e. you know that they like Prismacolor, I love my Prismacolor. You know that they like the first set of Brutfuners, the 180 set, I love them. If they like those pencils and they like these, then generally you're going to kind of get along with the same line of thinking, if you get me. I am also quite heavy-handed when I'm doing my swatch sheet, because I know that I am extremely heavy-handed when I'm colouring. So I try to do the swatch sheet in the same way that I would do the colouring page. So I wouldn't take time to swatch them really gently and do from light to dark, which I have done a few times in my swatch sheets, but I find that it just doesn't reflect properly what I'm going to do when I'm colouring. So I just imagine I have something to colour, we'll say a leaf or a petal, and I colour it that way. So it tends to be the hardest that you can colour these pencils. That's the colour that I want to bring out of the pencil for my swatch sheet, so that I know when I'm colouring, that's the colour I'm going to end up with. The Rogue colour floating about at the end of the swatch sheet is a pencil that I missed. Depending on how much of a perfectionist you are, you may want to go back and restart your swatch sheet. I used to be that person, but very quickly realised how often I make a mistake when I'm doing a swatch sheet, and it just became, look, if I can fit it in and it's not making a drastic alteration to the swatch chart, I'm happy to leave it float at the end. Because I guarantee you, once, twice, even 3-4 times, I will make a mistake on these colouring swatch sheets. And that's why I find it, one, handy to reprint them, because sometimes I have to, and two, it's really kind of calmed down my need for perfection. So as I said, I'm going to colour this page from the book Gnome Sweet Gnome. You can get it as a printable version on Etsy, so you don't have to get the physical book off Amazon if you don't like the Amazon paper, each to their own. But again, it's also handy that you can reprint the picture a few times for yourself and try out the different colours, that you may do a completely different colour palette. What I'm going to do is, the video is sped up ×8, and I'm going to colour the entire picture. And then I will come back to you at the end and give you my thoughts on these colouring pencils. Did they work as well as I hoped they would? Are they as nice as I hoped they would be? What do the colours blend like? What is the layering like? All those different things that, as a hobby colourist, I need to know when I'm buying a set of pencils, or I'd like to know when I go into purchasing a set of pencils. So enjoy the colouring. By no means am I a master colourist. I'm still very amateur and learning each time I use a different set of pencils on different ways to colour. But I do enjoy colouring. I love how relaxing it is. I love seeing the end result of the page, and I hope with this piece you will too. So we are coming to the end of this colouring piece and colouring page, and I just want to share with you my thoughts on these colouring pencils. So at the sale price, these pencils were 16p per pencil. At the price that they are today, which is about £25, they are 21p, and this is rounded up, 21p per pencil. To say that these are budget friendly and quality pencils is an understatement, because I think for the price that you're paying, if you're a hobby colorist and you're not looking for artist grade, because there are slight differences, these are wonderful, wonderful pencils. The way that they blend and they mix, and as you can see in the flowers, I kind of used different colors, so the purples and the yellows and the kind of light pinks. Then the blues would kind of blend lovely together, they layer lovely. I just really enjoyed the whole thing. Again, the only thing that I would say is that there is a slight hole in the reds, but apart from that, these are just brilliant pencils. If you were going to start your children off colouring, I would buy these because they can do phenomenal work with very little effort. Now there is a bit more effort involved than say with your Prismacolors, but not much. If you're a hobby colorist and you're not looking for perfection, you're looking for budget friendly, then I would highly recommend these pencils. I once again am not disappointed by the quality of these pencils and really hope that this company does well, because I do think for the price point and the quality, you can't go wrong. If you would like to get your own set of the 120 square Brutfuner pencils, there will be a link in the description. I am not paid to advertise these pencils, although I feel like I should be because I just rave about them. However, some of my links are affiliate links, and that means that while you don't pay any extra, if you buy something through my link, I get a reward sometimes. Sometimes it's money, sometimes it's just a pat on the back. It all differs, but it doesn't affect the way that you buy. The best way to support me as a creator is to support my channel by subscribing. If you are subscribed and you would like to support further, maybe head over to Patreon and have a look at my content there. If you like it, subscribe. If not, no problem. Just stay here with me. That's it from me. Thank you very much for watching. As always, happy colouring, stay safe, and above all, stay sassy.